Hello guys, welcome to NumTech channel. My name is Nehemiah and I'm very much happy to have you on board. This is lesson 3 on NumPy universal function, and we are going to discuss a simple arithmetic. Before we begin guys, please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed, and to the returning subscribers, thank you very much for your continuous support. And so guys, basically you could use arithmetic operators like the plus, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division operators directly between NumPy arrays. But in this section, we are going to discuss an extension of the same, where we have functions that can take any array-like objects, for example, lists, tuples, and so forth, and perform arithmetic conditionally. Now, talking about arithmetic conditional, we mean that we can use, we can define, conditions where the arithmetic operation should happen, and all of the discussed arithmetic function take a where parameter in which we can specify, that condition. So, guys, without further ado, let's begin with the addition, operation, and we use the add function to sum the content of two arrays and return the results in a new array. For example, I want us to begin with the, for example, to add the values in array list 1 to the values in array list 2. And so guys, before anything in NumPy, you must import the code library, which is NumPy. We're going to import the module. So for example, you must write first of all import keyword, then NumPy, and then as an alias np, and then also we are going to create array list 1. For example, let's begin with the array list 1, or perhaps I can give it a name, just a alphabetical letter A. Then let me assign this object to this variable name to np dot array. Then let me create a list 1. For example, I can say this list to begin from perhaps let me say something like let me say for example 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. And then array list 2, I can give it b. Let me give it a b variable. Then let me say np dot array, and then in this list, let me begin from let me say 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And then now in this new array, let me give it C. Let me just say C. Then let me say now np dot add function dot add and then I'm going to add array list 1, of which is A. It is A, to array list B, array list 2, which is B. And then now let's print out the new array list. So let me say print. Remember the print function execute the codes at the terminal. So let me say C. Then let me run the codes. And then guys, basically you can see that it has added these values of array list A to array list 2. So when you sum, for example, 10 plus 20, that is 30, 11 plus 21, that is 32, and so forth. So guys, basically this is how we can use the addition operator to sum up values of the array list. And so let's now discuss a subtraction. So guys, basically for subtraction, we use the subtract function to subtract the values from one array with the values from another array, and return the results in a new array list. So for example, I want us to begin, let me just copy these codes guys. Let me copy these codes, and then let me paste it in a new cell. Let me just paste it here. And then here I'm going to change what? I'm going to change the, there's a function. Instead of add, I'm going to say subtract. I think yeah, and then let me run. I don't know if this is the spelling for subtract, I think. Let me run the codes, and then guys, basically you can see that it has given us this kind of values here. And yeah, so basically guys, this is subtraction, or basically you can change, for example, let's begin from B. Let's subtract A from B like this. Then let me run, and then guys, you can see that it give us this kind of values. So let's now discuss multiplication. Now guys, multiplication, we use the multiply function, which multiplies the the values from one array with the values from another array, and return the results in a new array. So let me show you guys, for example, how to multiply the values in array list A with the values in array list 2. I'm gonna copy the codes again because I hate typing. Let me just paste it here, and then here we are going to change the function. So instead of subtract, we are going to use the multiply, multiply. And then we are going to multiply B with A. So let me run the codes, and then guys, basically this is the value. For example, 10 times 20, that is 200, and then 11 times 21, it will give us this kind of a value. So guys, basically this is all about multiplication. So let's now talk about the division. Now guys, at the division, we use the divide function, of which divides the value from one array with the values from another array, and return the results in a new array. And so guys, for example, let me change, for example, the values here. Let me just copy these codes, but then I'm gonna change the values. Let me copy the codes, then here let me guys change at least the values, the ones which are divisible. For example, let me say 20, 10, 20, and 30, 40, for example 50, and then 60, and then here should be 60, sorry. Let me change the values here, for example, to be 3, sorry, let me say, for example, 3, 5, 10, 8, for example 2, any value. And then guys, here the C, I'm going to change this function to divide, to division, divide function, divide. And then here, for example, I can change, for example, A to B, A to B, A to B. Then let me run the codes, and then guys, basically you can see that it gives us this kind of a value. And so guys, basically this is how we can divide the values in array list 1 with the values in array list 2. So this is all about the division. Now let's talk about the power. Now guys, the power function raises the values from the first array to the powers of the value of the second array, and return the results in a new array. So guys, let me show you an example how to raise the values in array list 1 to the power of the values in array list and these are array list B. So let me copy, and then to this a new cell, let me just paste it here, and then here I'm gonna use power. I say that the power function raises the values from the first array to the power of the values of the second array. So here let me use power, and then let me run the codes, and then guys, basically this is how you can power. For example, 10 power 3, that is 1000, and then with such stuffs here. So what I do guys, here let's talk about the remainder. Now guys, both the mod and the remainder function return the remainder of the values in the first array corresponding to the values in the second array, and return the results in a new array. So let's try to return the remainder. So here we are going to use what? Instead of power, we are going to use the mod. I said that you can use mod or remainder to return, you know, the remainder values. So let me run. And so guys, basically this is how we can obtain the remainder. For example, 3 goes into 10 thrice and remain 1. So 3 times 3, that is 9, and it remains 1. And then 5 goes into 20, that is, you know, 4 times, but nothing remains. That's why it has given us, you know, 0. And then I said that you can as well use the remainder function. You can use both mod and remainder. So let's try with the remainder, and then let me run, or let me change it to 11 here so that you can see it must give us 2. Let me say you know, 11, and then I guess you can see the remainder there is 2. Now let's talk about the quotient and the mod. The div mod function return both the quotient and the mod. The return value is two arrays. The first array contains the quotient, and the second array contains the mod. So let me show you that example, how to return the quotient and the mod. So in this case, let me just instead of, you know, copying to the other, you know, say let me just change here to div mod. Then let me run the codes, and then guys, basically you can see that it returns what, you know, 2 values here. This first array contains the quotient, and then the second array contains what, the mod, or the, you know, actually the mod. So basically this is how we can do it. This is how we can obtain the quotient in the mod. And then guys, lastly, let's talk about the absolute values. Both the absolute and the ABS functions do the same absolute operation element wise, but we should use the absolute function to avoid, you know, the confusion with the Python inbuilt math.abs, you know, function. So let me show you an example. Let me do this. Let me first of all import the module here. Import NumPy is an alias np, and then here let me create an array. For example, let me name it array this time. Then let me assign it to this object, this method np dot array method, and then I'm gonna create here a list. For example, I can give it even -1, -2, for example 1, 2, 3, and then for example -4. Now in this new array, let me give it new array, and then let me give it these values, np. Let me give it this function absolute, and then we are going to print what actually absolute. Then here I'm gonna you know, the pass array, the array there, and then now to the print function, guys, I'm gonna use print print now new array, print new array. Then let me run the code so that it may return what, the absolute values. So guys, basically this is how you can return the absolute values. And so guys, basically this is what I wanted to show you in this tutorial on the symbol arithmetic, and I think you've gained something. Please consider subscribing, like, and share the video to your friends. Until next time, this is Nehemiah. Goodbye.